guys, before we jump into the episode, I've got some exciting news to share. Our brand new website has just been launched and is live at paulbegleypodcast.com. This is now your one-stop hub for everything podcast related. So instead of scouring all over the internet looking for links to the show, you can stream every episode, watch our latest YouTube videos, check out our guest directory to see who's been on the show, and even read our brand new blog for extra content. And if you're enjoying this podcast, we encourage you to leave a review right on the site. There's no login hassle needed to do this. Everything's right there. It's easy to access, mobile friendly, and it's built for you. So while you're listening today, take a second to check it out. paulbegleypodcast.com. Now back to the show. Hey, welcome everybody again to the Paul Begley Podcast. Today we're excited because we have a truly powerful and heartfelt conversation ahead of us. We're honored to welcome Tony Garcia, who came to America in 1962 as a 12-year-old refugee fleeing communist Cuba under Operation Pedro Pan. Tony, I know you're a good friend of Pastor Paul, Pastor Melvin, Heidi, and Israel at Freedom Fellowship Church in the Villages there in Florida. It's an honor for me to finally meet you today, and I'm thrilled to learn about your story. So please, welcome to the podcast, Tony.
Thank you. Thank you. I've heard so much about you from Pastor Paul, and I said, I have to put a face to the name now, and there it is. There it is.
The guy behind the keyboard.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's me for most of the guests that come on here. Tony, I wanted to start out because we were having a little pre-podcast conversation beforehand, and I jumped in.
Right.
I was hoping you could set the stage for us and the audience and tell us a little bit about what you remember of daily life in Havana and your memories of pre-Castro Cuba.
Okay. Well, thank you again for having me on this podcast. And I'll tell you, I was very happy. My dad was a professional. We were not wealthy, but we were very, very comfortable in our lives in Cuba, and I was going to private school. Everything that was happening there, even when we were under the dictatorship of Batista, everything was good. We're kids being kids.
Right.
We play and we don't even listen about what's happening with the country, anything like that. So
right.
It was we went to school, private school. We enjoyed we would go to the beach. My dad, we would go to the country clubs on Sundays, and we would go to the beach, and the kids, everybody's playing. It was good life. It was a good life. Cuba was very prosperous. And then, as it was, January 1st, 1959, we get the news that Batista had fled the country the day before, and Castro had taken over. And there was a lot of corruption in the government. And that being said, there was also a lot of oppression against people who were against the Batista government. And so when Castro came into power, we thought that everything was going to be better, things were going to be better, there'd be more freedom. As it was, it went like that for a little bit. And then all of a sudden, things began to change. The government began to nationalize American companies, all American companies and foreign companies doing business in Cuba. They had what they call agrarian reform. The companies like United Fruit were taken over by the government. They took everything from those companies and kicked them out of the country. And
wow.
Yeah.
See, I wasn't aware of that. So, yeah, because Havana was a booming paradise almost. And a lot of businessmen, a lot of Hollywood people loved to go to Havana.
Right.
It was a party town.
Oh, it was a party and the Caribbean party.
Yeah, it really was. And I mean, Frank Sinatra would go there, right?
Frank Sinatra, all the entertainers were going to the Tropicana.
Yep.
The Copacabana.
Yeah.
And everything was good until that started happening. And my dad saw, being that he had become a member of the Communist Party when he was young, he saw that things were beginning to go that way. And like I said, there was a saying that they say, hook 'em when they're young. That means
Right.
start looking at the kids, because they're the ones who are going to support this government. And the kids were marching up and down the street and marching at the school. We used to go to private school, and all of a sudden you see them wearing red bandanas with white shirts and chanting revolutionary
They were
slogans.
training them.
Yeah, they were training them. So there was, and also the Russians started coming in.
Really?
Oh yeah, the Russians started,
Russian soldiers or Russian people?
The Russian government started coming in.
I see.
And because all of a sudden the embargo
Mm-hmm.
was in effect, and the Russian government started to fill that void, but the Russians at the time, it was communism.
So in other words, the communist Castro's regime taking over all the American companies, just walk in and say, it's ours now.
Texaco, Shell,
Just took it.
United Fruit. I got a list of them. There are hundreds of them.
Wow.
And so after that happened, the Americans said, you know what? We're not going to do business. You're going to do that to us. We're going to shut you off, and created an embargo.
They put the embargo, implemented, and for a time everything was good.
Yeah.
But later on, what happened was we had to get in line to get groceries and household goods.
No, we're running out of stuff now.
Yeah, because the embargo was taking effect. So they were relying on the Russians.
Yep.
And
So
what
open it up.
what the Russians were sending was so low quality. Food, everything was low quality. Nobody would eat that stuff.
Yep.
So my dad had to get he had to go, had friends in the black market, and we had food.
Yeah.
But
Because
other
he had a
people
better
couldn't.
job. He was a professional. He could pay it.
He could do it.
He could do it.
So
Most people couldn't.
right. So one of the catalysts that we knew that the Russians were getting a foothold in there was the fact that you remember 1960, the first cosmonaut,
Yes.
Yuri Gagarin.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He went into space and came back down, and they said the first cosmonaut. And then after that, we had the Bay of Pigs invasion,
Yep.
1961.
Yep.
I thought they were going to pick up everybody up. My dad, my mom, us. They put us into a foster home or something, and because they thought, there's going to be a revolution from the inside.
Right.
It didn't happen.
Well, because Kennedy didn't send the troops.
Well, he didn't provide air cover,
Right.
and but that ended quickly.
Yeah.
And then things got worse from there. And then my mom and my dad talked. I said, we got to get the kids out of here. We got to get them out of
Get
here.
them out of here.
So here comes January 5th, 1962, the day we leave. And we go to the airport. And the airport, they have a place where they put all the kids and all passengers and all that in the glass enclosure. They used to call them the fishbowl.
Okay, the fishbowl.
So what happened is you have all these kids who are going to a country they don't know anything about.
Right.
You hear America. Oh yeah, they look at the beaches. We used to watch movies. Jerry Lewis.
Right.
All these entertainers. We would watch movies from there with them. So what happened is like they put us there, and the only thing separating us from my parents was a sheet of glass.
A sheet of glass. Because your parents can't go. So his parents can't go with him.
No.
Right.
They're sending the kids without their parents
Right.
because they know how bad it's getting in Cuba.
Right. And
Well, can I ask this question, Tony? I'm sorry to cut you off.
no, that's good. That's good.
Because I feel like it's a important detail for this. So you're at the you're walking us through at the fishbowl at the airport. What is, Castro, Cuba, and the militia? What do they think about this, or is this like a covert operation that they don't really know what's going on at the airport?
Well, what they did is they wanted to make it as hard as possible because they still hadn't implemented what they call a patria potestad, which would mean the government will take care of the children. They'll take them away
Okay.
from their parents. So the kids were leaving because of the efforts made by Brian Walsh, the Archdiocese of Miami. He went, and through his efforts, he was able to get all these 14,048 children out of Cuba to keep them from the communism and the indoctrination that was there.
Okay.
So you're saying that the communists were going to take the kids from their parents and indoctrinate them?
That is correct. Yes.
Oh man, that's bad.
Well, I'm curious though, like how would the Archdiocese, how was he able to overrule that power in Cuba?
How do you pull it off?
Because the Archdiocese of Miami they were very instrumental in doing that, and they had the full backing of the government. Apparently, the U.S. and the Cuban government had made an agreement that this was, that this was going to happen, and so they let the kids come out. But the Archdiocese was instrumental in getting us a place to live in Miami, or getting a place, or being able to find sponsors, which it didn't help us because my dad went ahead and found somebody who could take care of us while we were in Miami. So imagine you go to a country where you don't know the language, you don't know the customs, you don't know the way of life, and you're just lost.
Right.
It was a traumatic experience for my sister and me.
Yeah, it had to be.
Yeah. So
when you went to school, during that time, I mean, everybody spoke English, right? Or did they?
Everybody spoke English.
So you have to learn the language.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you're 13 years old. That's not going to be easy.
It's easier. It's easier when you're still young.
Yeah,
but if you go try to, my dad could never master the English language, but he was able to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
But with the school, it was when I was there for about 20 days, and the lady who was taking care of, she enrolled me at the school. And my sister went to the senior high school. I went to the junior high school. I go over there, and I'm terrified, Pastor Paul. I'm terrified.
I would have been too.
Because all these strange faces.
Right.
No, I don't know anybody. I don't have a friend here. Right. Only my sister. My sister and I were always hugging each other.
Right.
And I go to the school, and my dad said, when you go to school, you take your report card from Cuba and you show it to them.
Show them how good a student you are.
Yeah, or how bad I was. I don't know.
Whichever it was.
But anyway, so what happens, I get over to the school, and I talk to the dean of, it's at Robert E. Lee Junior High School.
Robert E. Lee.
I don't know. I don't know if it even exists with that name.
I don't know now. Yeah.
And so they asked me the basic questions, because my private school was called Edison School, affiliated with Fairleigh Dickinson University.
Oh, really?
In New Jersey.
Yeah, yeah.
So they would send teachers to Cuba to teach us English. So we know the basic, but you're a kid, you come out of there, and all of a sudden you start speaking Spanish again, you forgot everything.
Right.
Right.
So we got on, they asked me, how old are you? What grade are you in? Blah, blah, blah. And they thought I was fluent.
Oh, but you weren't?
No. No.
Just the very basic communication, yeah.
Yeah, so I go, and they put me in a class. They thought I was fluent, so they put me in a class with all the kids who speak English and the American kids. So I sit down, and, you know how it is when you come through the door and everybody has their eyes on you.
They're all looking at you. You're the new kid.
Who is this guy?
Yeah, who's this guy?
Yeah. So the teacher's she's giving a lecture or something, and she makes eye contact with me. And in Cuba, when the teacher made eye contact with you, you stood up because you knew a question was coming your way.
I see. Okay.
So I thought it was the same way.
So you stood up?
I stood up. And she said, no, sit down. I was embarrassed, humiliated, really. I was humiliated.
Right.
And I'm here with my little report card showing it to them. It didn't matter.
They didn't care.
3 days, I went through that for 3 days. Then I went back and I said, I can't do it. I don't understand the language. I don't understand what they're telling me. And the school was, usually in Cuba, the school you stayed in your own room, like your homeroom. That's where the teachers went to teach you.
They went.
In
okay.
America, the students leave this room and go to the next room
Yeah.
or wherever it's located. So that's I wasn't used to that.
Yeah.
So it was really a culture shock.
Yeah.
So
I would also. Were you the only Cuban student in the high school or in your class at least as well?
no, mostly they were the American kids, and there were some Puerto Rican kids and some Cuban kids who had been in the U.S. a lot longer than I had been. They had arrived there in 1960. So when everything that you hear is English, Paul. You hear English, you read English. There's no you don't read. You don't have anything. The radio is all in English. Television, there were 3 television stations.
Yeah.
And everything was English. And you
Right.
being a young kid, it just goes in there.
Yeah.
And so by about 4 months of that, I was able to transfer into what I call the general population.
That's cool. Yeah. Because you caught on to enough English.
Yeah.
Now, did you play baseball also in Cuba?
It was just with the kids. I had teams. We played for the school and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But then I was so I was really so flabbergasted to be in a country where I didn't have my mom and dad.
Kind of hard to get
It was
involved.
hard to get. It was hard to get adjusted. Imagine yourself, being a kid and you're sent to
Anywhere.
anywhere, a country
Anywhere.
where they don't speak your language,
It'd be a big problem.
and then you're expected to kind of survive. And that's what we did. We survived.
Yeah.
So
Well, Tony, I wanted to go back. So you mentioned without your mom and dad. I wanted to go back to that moment on that flight, though. There, did you as a 12-year-old and your sister was 15 at the time? Did you guys have any sort of plan, or did your parents have any sort of idea of what was going to happen once they sent you forward? Or was there any sort of, we're going to reconnect, or they had anything outlined?
the main goal, Paul, was to get us out of there, to get us out of Cuba, We had no guarantee that we would see our mother or father again. There was no guarantee of that. And a lot of the kids from the Peter Pan children, they never saw their parents again.
Never seen them.
Yeah.
Wow.
And some of them, they, like I said, they were sent out, they were relocated to Washington State, places.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, places where
It snowed.
it's cold.
Yeah.
So, and that's what happened. And there was no plan. The plan was just to get us out of Cuba. And we were fortunate, and God put His hand on us, and this family took care of us while waiting for my mother, if she was going.
If
to
she
arrive,
could ever
if
come.
she could ever come.
And she got to.
And she did. And she did come. And the government and the American government was giving us $33 a month each, my sister and me. So we were getting $66 a month, out of which $40 went to the lady so we could contribute for the groceries and all that stuff. So we had $13 for a whole month, each for a whole month.
Yeah.
So imagine we had to walk everywhere, save money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the lady being your foster parent?
Yeah, she was. We called them foster parents, but they were friends of friends who knew my dad, and they put them together. And she got a hold of them, and she says, "Yeah, I'll take Tony and Martha. That's my sister's name."
Okay.
And so she stayed, and then they left for New York when my mother arrived. And I think that my mother arrived. I don't remember the date, but I think 2 days later they left for New York, and they're still living in New York.
And wow. Have you ever seen them since then?
No.
Wow.
No.
Wow. Now, your father is still in Cuba
He's still there
at this point.
Yeah. And so what happened, that $66 is wiped out.
Yeah, it's gone.
And so now we're getting $84 a month
Okay.
for the three of us.
Because your mother's there now.
Because my mother is there.
$84 a month.
$84 a month. And we go to, they call it the Freedom Tower. It's still there in downtown Miami.
Okay.
It's a big historical building. And we go and get military supplies, military food, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's what we would eat,
Yeah.
cheese, spam. all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, all the military, RME, just spam and some
Powdered milk,
yeah,
all that kind of stuff. We'll go there and get some of that so we could
survive.
So we could survive. And we go with the money that we will give this lady. She'll go to the grocery store and buy groceries for us. $20 at that time
was quite a bit.
Went a long way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You can stretch that. You can stretch that.
So that's how it was.
And Dad is still there, and you don't know if Dad's ever going to come.
Don't know when he comes until we found out he was coming. Because we used to talk to each other. We call each other.
Okay.
And what he was doing, and I don't know, he would send money, dollars,
U.S. dollars.
in the mail, send them to us.
Yeah.
And my sister, being the oldest one, she was handling the money.
Yeah.
That way, when my mother got there, she wouldn't have to go find a job.
Because you'd have some money.
Yeah, there was some money. So I don't know exactly how much, but it was quite a few $1,000s that came through the mail.
Unbelievable.
Every time we got a letter, she'd go. She didn't want the lady to see it.
No.
My sister would go and take the money out, put it in a little box and hide it.
Yeah.
Because we were giving her $20 each.
Yeah.
A month for
Didn't want her to
groceries.
know that you had some money. But the money was being hid to help when your mother came for the transition. You knew you would need it.
Because then that she would leave, because she had kids. She would leave, and then we stayed and we kept the house that she was in. That house still there.
Really?
Yeah, still there.
Still there.
And that's how we survived. When I started when I was able to get a newspaper route. The Miami Herald. I used to deliver the Miami Herald newspapers.
Yep.
On a bicycle. You saw that picture of that bicycle.
Yep,
That's my bicycle.
Yep.
And delivered newspapers 4:00 in the morning. And then work at Royal Castle. Anybody remember Royal Castle?
No, I don't.
In Miami, it was very popular. It was like White Castle.
Okay.
They had the little
called the Royal Castle.
sliders.
Yeah.
But it was a Royal Castle. I used to work there at night.
Okay.
And
so you're delivering papers in the morning at 4:00 in the morning and working at Royal Castle at night.
And in between there, I was in school.
Wow.
You were a go-getter.
I had to help out.
Yeah.
I was making 90 cents an hour at Royal Castle. 90 cents an hour. Washing dishes,
Tough.
It was tough.
Tough. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Paul.
Also, so I just want to just a little bit more, because 90 cents an hour, $84 a month for the three of you.
Yeah.
It's hard for people to kind of grasp, what that would actually translate into. Now you'd have to do quite a bit of math to figure that out.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, Tony, you were dealing with the bus strikes in Miami as well. So can you tell pretty much how that affected your life as well, getting to school, getting around?
Well, we had to, Paul, we had to walk everywhere because I know there was a bus strike. And the bus was only a nickel at the time. It was a nickel to get in the bus. We couldn't afford to pay a nickel.
You were walking already.
We were walking already. And it was funny because the shoes that I had brought from Cuba, they all had holes in them.
Yeah.
Because of all this walking I was doing.
Yeah.
So first thing that my mom did when she arrived and, she got the money, she went and bought me a pair of shoes.
Yeah. Pretty special, wasn't it?
Yeah. We went to the laundry. We didn't have a laundry, a washing machine. We had to go to a laundromat,
Right.
15 blocks away, and then come back. One of us will get on the bus to bring the laundry back.
Yeah.
And everybody else.
Everybody else has to walk.
Everybody else had to walk home.
Yeah.
So, but we learned how to survive. I think it made us very strong, and I think we passed that. We passed that. Those ideas to my son. He knows our story.
He knows
our story, and my sister's the same way to my nephew, her son. They know their story and how much of a struggle we had to go through.
Right.
And
so did you go? Okay, so college. Did you go to college then?
A little bit. When I graduated from Miami-Jackson High School.
Okay.
And then I went to I went to Miami-Dade College. They used to call it Miami-Dade Community College. And I spent 2 years there, but I wasn't really cut out for college.
Yeah.
I was better. I could fix cars. I could do all kinds of stuff. And then I got drafted.
Oh, Vietnam?
I never made it.
Okay.
I never made it, but I got a letter because they told me when you turn 18,
Yeah.
you have to sign up for the selective service.
Yeah, I had to do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. I said, what?
Yeah.
I didn't. So I sign up. So I go to the Miami-Dade. I get out of Miami-Dade, and right after that, Pastor Paul, I get the letter from the selective service. Because if you were still in college, you were exempt.
You were exempt
from the service.
Yeah.
But once I got out of Miami-Dade, and I didn't have the money to go to the University of Miami or anything like that.
Yeah.
I got the letter.
Uh-oh.
And it was like, the letter said, and I think my sister has all of that. And she said, greetings. I say, greetings.
Yeah.
So I said, you are ordered to report to this place in Coral Gables.
Mm-hmm.
It's a processing center, and bring a change of clothes. That told me that if I pass the physical,
You're staying.
I'm gone. I'm going to the service.
Right.
So I got over there, and man, I am scared to death.
Yeah.
Scared to death because I never fired a gun. I
Don't want to do this.
I say, what? I say, where are we going?
Yeah.
And I say, they said I had high blood pressure. So they would call me. They would recall me in about 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
To this day, I'm still waiting.
I think you're going to be okay.
Yeah,
I think you passed it.
And that's what I was saying. I said God had His hand on me.
Yeah.
Because I lost a lot of my friends in Vietnam.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some of them that survived Vietnam are still suffering from it.
Yeah.
But I said I could have been one of them.
You could have been.
Yeah.
God's hand.
Yeah.
You could have been in the Communist Army under Castro.
Yeah.
You could have been in the Army during Vietnam.
Yeah.
But God's hand was on you.
Yeah. It was on me. It was on my sister too. She was fit to be tied that she was going to lose me.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. Paul, where do you want to take it from here? Because I know where I want to go.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, at some point, you meet Debbie.
Yeah, I met her. At a dance.
Okay.
In Miami.
Okay.
And we hit it off. We've been married now 55 years.
You're doing pretty good.
Yeah. I think she's putting up with me.
Yeah. So that's wonderful. Wonderful.
We met, and then we got married in 1970.
Okay.
In 1972, our son Tony was born.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to work as a bill collector.
What?
I used to work.
You probably called me at some point. At some point there.
I used to
get some of those calls. Man.
Yeah. No, I worked at the First National Bank of Miami.
Okay.
And I was working at night, and then I left there. Then Debbie and I got married, and then I worked as a bill collector. I used to go in Miami. There were some areas that were pretty bad. Now you don't do that.
Yeah.
Now there are a lot of restrictions on calling for collection calls and all that stuff. But at that time, it was a wild, wild west.
I mean, did you go to people's homes?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not on the phone.
Oh, it was door to door.
Door to door.
Yeah.
That's like that's bad. I mean, you're like
that's worse.
Nobody
than
wants
being
to
a
see
repo
you
man.
coming, man. That's bad.
I would call them, and if I didn't, I would call them, or they changed their number. And all that stuff, and then you got to go to their house.
Hunt them down.
And you heard in Miami places called Overtown.
Yes.
Overtown, Pork and Beans, Liberty City. I used to go in there.
Okay, you went in there. Yeah.
I went in there. But I don't, that was at the time.
That's a rough neighborhood.
It's a rough neighborhood, but there was a little bit of respect.
Okay.
Because now you don't do that.
No,
You
go there now, you're not coming back.
You're not coming back.
No.
You're not coming back. So, and now, that's what we used to do. We spent hours calling people because the finance company was just, They owed him so much money.
Yeah.
So, and then I worked and I got a job at the post office. And I
Better.
retired from the post office.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I retired from the
Oh,
post
good.
office. Yeah.
Good.
I worked in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
And then Debbie, 10 years later, she got in the post office.
Okay.
And so, because I said, no, you got to take care of Tony. You know, you got to take care of little Tony. You can't,
Yeah.
I don't want him going to school on his own.
Right.
You know, so she took care of him. And then
she went to work after you at some point.
yeah, I started in 1974. In 1981, she got hired, and she was a letter carrier like me.
Mm-hmm.
Then she went into sales, and I went into management.
Mm-hmm.
And she retired from there with the sales background and with management. And I was
Good.
with management. I was running a post office in downtown Hollywood, the biggest one in Hollywood.
Wow.
I was a supervisor, and I handled 70, 80 carrier routes. You know, real stressful job.
Yeah,
I couldn't wait to leave.
Yeah.
You know, when I got my 30 years, I was gone.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's go back to Cuba for a minute,
Sure,
because
sure,
there's
sure.
a couple of questions here
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, and it's got to be shocking when a country, when an entire government change to communist, Russian soldiers
Yeah.
are walking around.
Yeah.
Companies are being overtaken.
Right.
Food starts getting scarce. Did people start getting really nervous? Were people being imprisoned? I've heard a lot of those kind of stories.
Yes. A lot of people were put in prison because they were known as gusanos, which means worms in Spanish.
Okay.
Gusanos, and 20 years in jail.
And wait a minute. What's their crime?
Talking against the government.
Oh man.
It was a dictatorship. It was something like that. You know, they do that in all these countries.
I know.
They do that in all these countries. But we had many people that we never saw them again.
Yeah, that was it.
They died in jail.
Never see them again.
Yeah. And that was a lot of you thought that Batista was bad? This guy was worse.
Yeah. He ruled with a rod of iron, didn't he?
Yeah.
People hated him.
Yeah. And when if you look in Facebook and you see Cuba nowadays, you'll be surprised at the poverty that's going
Yeah, it's
on
terrible.
there.
It's terrible.
So, and you're not allowed to protest, and you're not allowed to say the government is corrupt.
No, you'll go to prison. You may get shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot
It's still that way, right?
It is still that way. It is still that way. You can see it. You can go on YouTube and you put Cuba, and you'll see all kinds of articles. People that go to Cuba, and they take videos, and you can see the buildings are crumbling.
Yeah.
You know,
Communism don't work.
no, and people in line. The routine is get up in the morning early, get over to the grocery store, and wait to see if there's something for you to get. You get in line.
Get in line. Maybe they'll get something.
Yeah, and then you got the lights. You know, a lot of times there's
Power outages.
blackouts, all that kind of stuff, and no water. My cousin Sonia, she still lives there, and I try to convince her. I say, you can get out because you have a passport from Spain.
Yeah, get out of there.
And she's not getting out of there because she's got a boyfriend. She's taking care of him, and he can't fend for himself, so she's staying with him. You know, that's
Yeah. Well, people make choices.
make choices.
Yeah. It may not be good, but they make choices.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
So Tony, I want to ask. So have you ever returned to Cuba since you left?
no, not at all, because I believe that I would be aiding that government to stay afloat, because the tourism in Cuba is only for the tourists. It's not for the
Right.
Cuban people, you know. And I will not spend my hard-earned money going to Cuba, and then that money is not going to the
Not going to the people,
To
is
the
it?
people. Hotels. The Cubans are not allowed in the hotels. They're only allowed in the hotels if they work there,
Right.
but they're not allowed there to stay. So you got the tours, Canada, every little country, and they're all excited because they get to drive. They get to ride in a '57 Chevrolet.
Because that's the only thing they have, right?
Yeah.
They're still driving brand new
Yeah.
'57 Chevys.
Yeah.
That's the only car they can make.
Yeah, they
Wow.
well, they refurbish them, and they have the facility to be able to bring it back to the old days. But
right.
it's only for the tourism. The Cuban people are not
And all of the
benefits.
hotels are owned by the Cuban
by the government.
by Castro's government.
By the government. Yeah.
So now Castro's dead. I think his brother's dead now.
No.
Is
He's
he
still
still
alive.
running this thing?
No, he let that he left. He's not running the country, but he is running the country.
Yeah.
Because he's got a puppet,
That's in charge.
Miguel Canel.
Yeah.
He is the president, and Raul Castro is telling him what to do.
Right. Right.
So that's how it is.
It's a sad situation that
Yeah.
and communism don't work.
It doesn't work.
And
at
it
all.
really needs to be explained. This needs to be taught in our schools here in America
Right.
because the American children have no clue.
No.
And they think socialism is just, oh, that's great. No, they don't have no idea that socialism is one step away from communism.
Yeah. And the biggest purveyors of communism are the school teachers.
Yeah, because they teach that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
School teachers. So.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I can say for sure when I was at Purdue, my first major I had was accounting, business managerial accounting.
Uh-huh.
And we ended up going through, I forgot what it was, maybe a macroeconomics class. And we had this whole section on Marx. And I'm trying to figure out why are we doing this whole section on Marx, but there was never really any explanation for why it was good or why it was bad, or do we just need to know about it?
Yeah.
I mean, there was multiple papers that were written on it too. And now that I think about it, I'm like, I think that was just part of that socialist thinking leaking into the universities as well.
Right.
Because really, I feel like I got nothing out of it. I mean, maybe I know a little bit about the writings now, but I don't see how it added to anything that I was studying at the time. And we talked about before we were on here, Pastor, you're saying the history books are all whatever the schools write.
Mm-hmm.
And you wouldn't know anything better. I mean, it even goes back to, what we mentioned previously, Tony, with the hook 'em while they're young. That's all kind of the same thing. It's this whole, grooming kind of setup for society in multiple countries.
Right.
And that's why I agree with you, Pastor, it is important for everybody to kind of learn, from firsthand accounts, from Tony, for what is actually on the other side of progressing from U.S. sort of democracy into socialist and then the slide into communism, and why that's important to see stories like this so we can avoid that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done a couple of interviews in the villages with our group. We have a faith-based group called Men Finishing Well, and it's out of the villages.
Okay.
And we meet on every Saturday, 8:00 in the morning. So I gave a speech to them.
Okay.
And then I went to another group that's Spanish class.
All
so
right.
I gave them a speech too.
Yeah.
So I had to give it all in Spanish, so they needed, said, you got to speak to us in Spanish so we can practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, okay,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
do it.
And have you ever got a chance to go and speak in any of the schools?
No.
See, and that's what needs to happen.
Right.
People like you who actually lived it, know what's happening, know what was going on, and could explain that to this generation, who have no idea what's going on here.
Right.
They're just being indoctrinated, and they're being indoctrinated actually because there are communists in this country, in this government, that is that is really sneaking around, trying to figure out a way, and they're using the education system. There's no doubt in my mind, but they'll use any group
Yeah.
to slowly change the minds of the country
Yeah.
into believing a lie.
Into believing a lie.
It's a lie.
It's what they call the enemy within.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. So
So we do have to educate. Paul, I think you said it right. We do need to educate firsthand account stories like Tony's. But Tony's is a success story as well. He escaped, really, through his parents using their influence, using every way possible to get you guys out of there.
right.
But it was then when you got here, it was no cakewalk. It was no easy deal. You had to work hard,
Yes.
and you were up against it.
No.
But you overcome because you were hardworking, and you found a way.
Yeah.
And you used your opportunity in America to make it happen.
Well, when they say the land of opportunity, you better make good use of that
You
opportunity.
better do something.
Because, like I said, it made us stronger. My sister has a business in Miami.
Okay.
You know, I retired from the postal service,
Right.
and we do a lot of traveling.
I know you do. Yeah.
and all that stuff, and we work hard for it.
I know.
We work hard, and as I said, nobody gave us anything. I do, and I tell people every time, I'm not the type of guy who is going to go around waving a Cuban flag. I said, that's not my flag.
No.
That's not my flag. You go to my house, you're going to see a big American flag from a flagpole.
Because
That's mine.
you're an American.
That's right.
exactly right.
And we have friends, her cousins in Georgia, say Tony is more American than most Americans.
That's the truth.
Yeah,
That
'cause
is the
I
truth.
love this country.
Yeah.
What they've done for me, what America has done for me, I could never repay.
Right.
I could never repay,
Right.
you know. So,
Now, Tony and Debbie went with me to Israel 2 years ago.
yeah.
Yeah, they went with us to Israel, and we had a great time.
Yeah, you baptized us.
I know I did. Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, it was really, really good. That was a blessing, you know.
Yeah. Oh,
It really
yeah.
was.
We were very fortunate.
Yeah.
Very fortunate. Love to go again.
Yes, I'm going to take people again.
You will?
Yes, I am.
Well,
Just wait till the war ends,
wait till it all ends.
and then when it gets settled, then I'll say we're going. You and Debbie come.
That's right. We'll be
Okay.
there. We'll
Yeah.
be the first ones to sign up.
Thank you. Well, we treated you right. We treated you good, and
did.
And we'll do it again. But Paul, tell me a little bit about Honduras, because you and Debbie go to Honduras a lot.
Yeah.
And you do mission work there. You're involved with the church there. How's that work?
Well, Honduras, when we first discovered Honduras, is to go diving, scuba diving, and it's an island off of the mainland called Roatan,
Yeah.
and we go diving there, and we had been going there for 9 years now.
Okay.
Then we decided we decided to go ahead, and we bought a little condominium.
Okay.
So we go there and we stay at the condominium.
Nice. And go scuba diving
And go scuba diving, and
enjoy the.
yeah, we have a good group of expats that live around us,
I see.
you know. And the church that we go to is a non-denominational church. It's called Roatan Church,
Okay.
and they just built a beautiful church,
Praise God.
you know. And everybody contributed, and I think I had sent pictures. If not, I'll send them to you.
Yeah, send them to me. I'd like to see them.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful, a beautiful church, and we got a lot of the locals go there, and we have a lot of expats, Canadians also, who lived full time in Honduras.
In Honduras,
in
yeah.
Roatan,
Yeah.
and we get a lot of missionaries
Yeah.
coming from Indiana,
God bless Indiana.
Indiana, California, and Canada. Wisconsin, they came. I said, "Oh, we had to get out of that cold." So,
Yeah.
so we volunteered to do mission work.
Yes.
So they come, and so there the church has gotten the funds in order to be able to build that church. I'll send you some photos.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys go every year
Yeah.
to Honduras and
Yeah.
spend about
Well, the last time it was 4 months.
3-4 months.
But then after 3 months, I was ready to come home.
Yeah.
I said, I want to come back home.
Yeah.
You know.
Back to Florida.
Yeah, and I said, because all there is there in Honduras is diving,
Yeah.
fishing,
Yeah.
eating,
Yeah.
and sleeping.
That's it. That's still a little piece. That's a little piece of paradise. Okay.
Yeah, it's nice.
But you can't do that every day for the rest of your life, right?
You got that right.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
A lot of my friends from here, we play water volleyball.
Okay.
And they take cruises.
Yeah.
And the cruise ships stop in Roatan.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they send me a message, Tony, we're going to take a cruise and we're going to be in Roatan
Yeah.
on this
On a certain
this
day.
date, on a certain day. I said, I'll pick you up.
That's nice.
And then we'll
Yeah.
bring him over to our condo.
That's nice.
You know, and the condo is right on the water.
Okay.
So we go snorkeling and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what they and they like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They get a little. They get to see you then, and
And they get
and then you can't come back, and they get back on the boat.
I take him back to the boat, no
Yeah,
problem, because you have to. We bought a little pickup truck, and a friend of mine, a real good friend of mine. In fact, we called each other brothers from different mothers.
Okay.
Because we were born on the same day,
Oh, well, what do you know?
same
Okay.
year and everything.
Wow.
And he wrote me and he says, "I'll pick you up." I said, "We'll come and pick you up and we'll take you over to our place." It's a condominium place there. So, and we took him diving, and he says he was very, very happy, very
Thankful.
grateful that it was his wife, he and his wife, his daughter-in-law, and his son.
Mm-hmm.
And they came, and I said, "Well, there's no room in the cab, so
jump in the
everybody
back.
jump in the back."
Jumping back.
So it was. They said they took a survey after their cruise ended. They said, "Well, where?" Everybody vote. I said, "What did you like the most?" I said, "Being with Debbie and Tony."
Who's Debbie and Tony?
Yeah.
Oh, friends in Honduras.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
So he and I are very close. You know, we're very close
Yeah.
friends. You know.
And I'm so glad that here at Freedom Fellowship, you know, that's how we get to know you guys, and it's such a blessing, you know.
I had to.
I know
I
you're
had
wearing
to, I had to advertise.
I like it. I should have worn mine. I didn't. I put this one on real fast. But yeah, Freedom Fellowship. We have a great congregation of people.
Yes. Yeah.
And just really have a great time in the Lord.
Yeah.
So-
I enjoy it, and I love listening to you. And Debbie says, "Oh, he jumps on that chair." I said, "He jumped on that chair." I said, "Oh, he better jump on it right."
Yeah, I didn't jump on it right. It's a miracle it didn't fall over.
Yeah, he did that, and I'm looking at it. Oh my God! Somebody get over there. I said, "Settle down, Pastor. Settle down.
So sorry.
Settle down, Pastor."
So anyway, it's a great blessing.
Yeah.
It's been a great blessing.
Yeah.
So people really, and I would say is really, we really need to appreciate America. This is such a great blessing. This whole country was set up. The founders understood what freedom really means. Let people be free to own businesses, to work jobs, to own a home, you know, to not have fear of tyranny.
To travel freely.
Freely travel.
Right.
It's a great, and to go to church, worship the Lord, not be told God isn't bringing the ice cream.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, this is the greatest country in the world.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
And I've traveled to different countries all over in the world, and there's nothing even close to America. There's some other good countries.
Yeah.
You know, but when you get right down to it, God has really blessed this land.
Oh yeah, and we got blessed ourselves for being able to escape
Yeah. Oh, it's a
from
miracle.
such a bad place and come over to America and be able to make something of ourselves.
Oh, you've done wonderful.
Yeah.
You've done wonderful.
Thank you.
Praise God. Paul?
Yeah, there's actually quite a few. There's a lot of successful people that came out of that operation as well, Tony. Not just yourself.
Right.
There's multiple U.S. ambassadors came from one of the children from there as well. But if you don't mind, in closing, Tony, I just wanted to thank you so much for sharing your story. It's so raw and inspiring, and especially for people that were that are born here that aren't really making not. I wouldn't say not making something out of themselves, but not putting forth the effort.
There you go.
It's great to hear from you going through, this horrific situation really in Cuba of being brought over to America and getting that second chance and then making something out of yourself. I think it's inspiring for everybody,
Amen.
especially for, American, born American, raised, in the mainland.
Yeah.
Your journey from a refugee to retiree embodies strength, courage, and the enduring promise of America. And for all our listeners who want to hear more, you can head over to Tony's guest page at our website at paulbegleypodcast.com. It's been a real privilege having you on, Tony, and we pray that your story continues to uplift everyone who hears it. God bless you.
And I thank you for inviting me and putting my message out.
We love you, Tony. Thank you for coming.
I love Freedom Fellowship.
Freedom Fellowship. Can't go wrong.
We love our pastor.
Yes, we do. God bless.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today on the Paul Begley Podcast. New episodes will be released every Tuesday on all major podcast streaming platforms. For a video recording of this episode, you can watch and subscribe on our YouTube channel at Paul Begley Podcast. Hey, guys, we want you to connect with us. Follow us on X and Twitter at Paul Begley Pod. We'd love to hear your questions you want us to answer on the show. For additional Paul Begley content, go to our website at paulbegleyprophecy.org. If you've thought about it, we'll talk about it. Paul Begley Podcast.